Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Now firstly, before we get into any of the actual content of this video, I'm going to start off by saying that everything I'm presenting here is mostly speculative. It's hard to say exactly what the outcome is going to be here, especially considering how much of a banana republic the federal justice system has proven itself to be. So take all the information with a grain of salt, and I'm presenting it because it's what's being reported, but in no means am I saying that this is 100% what's going to happen. But we're now getting reports that supposedly this Mar-a-Lago case, this document gate case, the classified document indictment targeting former President Donald Trump, that's supposed to be the final nail in the coffin, thing that takes him down, we're learning that the Fed's entire case might be coming to a fiery, crashing end. The report is that the entire case is likely to be dismissed based on extreme Department of Justice misconduct. I've gathered the report as well as some other updates on the story. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so here's the report that's gone incredibly viral all over Twitter. A piece from The Leading Report, which is a website that's independently operated by Patrick Webb. He writes, Trump case likely to be dismissed due to DOJ misconduct. The alleged behavior is undoubtedly flagrant and arguably unprecedented. A judge would have every right to consider dismissing if the allegations were confirmed. Waltine Walt Nauta, a Navy valet who worked in Trump's White House and who continued to be a personal aide to Trump after he left office, is one of Trump's co-defendants. Former DOJ counterintelligence chief Jay Bratt, who is currently a member of Special Counsel Jack Smith's team of prosecutors, was named the target of accusations made by Nauta's attorney, a renowned, highly esteemed Washington attorney named Stanley Woodward, a few weeks ago. According to news reports, Woodward claimed in a sealed letter to DC District Chief Justice James Boasberg that during a meeting to discuss Nauta's case, Bratt said that if he couldn't persuade Nauta to testify against Donald Trump, that it may affect Woodward's application to be a DC Superior Court judge. If confirmed, and there is no reason why Woodward would fabricate such a threat, let alone risk his career by telling a federal judge such a thing, Bratt's alleged misconduct could lead to harsh penalties and even be a reason to throw the entire case against Nauta and Trump. Depending on the details of what was said, Bratt might even be charged with a crime. Courts have the discretion to completely dismiss indictments in situations where there has been egregious prosecutorial misconduct. U.S. District Attorney Judge Aileen Cannon would be perfectly within her rights to consider a dismissal in the case if Woodward's claims are validated. The alleged behavior is perhaps unprecedented and unquestionably flagrant, amounting to nothing less than an attempt by a senior DOJ official to deny a defendant his right to counsel under the Sixth Amendment through improper and possibly illegal actions. That's a big claim if true, and I'm inclined to believe that this really happened. Supposedly, the prosecutor in the special counsel case alluded to the defendant's legal representation that his career ambitions or his career path could be jeopardized by his actions in this case. That seems like a threat. That seems like a severe level of prosecutorial misconduct. And if the judge in this case, who happens to be Aileen Cannon, a Trump-appointed judge with a very strong and credible history and track record, if she believes that this claim is valid or if they're able to prove that it actually happened, then this case might be over, dismissed almost immediately. I don't think that's far-fetched to claim. In fact, I think there's a significant possibility that the entire case gets thrown into the garbage, not only because of the one allegation, but supposedly there's been a string of DOJ misconduct instances. Ex-Trump attorney claims on MSNBC that he witnessed 45 instances of DOJ misconduct. Quote, I know it sounds like I made that number up.
This one is a question for you, sir.
So, Tim, I was wondering if you could expand on that. What are the issues that you think would lead to this case never going to trial?
Well, the biggest issue, Andy, is, of course, prosecutorial misconduct. This is a case where you have prosecutors who have consistently demonstrated lack of ethics and willingness to lie to federal judges in sealed proceedings, willingness to, in the grand jury, openly suggest to the jurors that they may take the invocation of constitutional rights as evidence of guilt, willingness to meet with an attorney for a client, for one of the witnesses, and suggest that his application for a judgeship is something that should be considered and is a reason to convince his client to change his mind. These are just some of the things that we saw.
Tim, can I just interrupt you? With respect to the grand jury, how do you know what happened and what was represented with respect to the grand jury, since that's usually secret?
Because I was in the room. It happened right in front of me. And I do not believe for one second that these prosecutors acted totally ethically and properly throughout all of these other witnesses, and then the moment that I walked in the room, they just totally dissembled and started acting unethically in my presence. If anything, they would have acted on their best behavior when I was in the room.
So,
and yes,
Tim,
we did get a transcript of that proceeding, too.
So, Tim, what exactly did you see, and what?
45 separate times. I know it sounds like I made that number up, but 45 separate times they tried to get into attorney-client privileged information. And frequently, when the question was asked about conversations between attorney and client, they would turn to the grand jury and say, so you're refusing to provide that information to the grand jury. And at a certain point, a further exchange ensued where the prosecutor says, well, isn't it possible to waive the privilege? And if President Trump is being so cooperative, why won't he waive the privilege and allow you to tell the jury about his conversations with you? That's
Tim,
totally improper. Andy, I know that you know if that happened during a jury trial, it'd be a mistrial right there.
These DOJ prosecutors seem bloodthirsty, a little too partisan and hungry to go after Donald Trump. We're in unprecedented, uncharted territory. It's clear as day that this whole thing is politically motivated. It's an attempt to sabotage Donald Trump's efforts to regain his position as president of the United States. And with how aggressive these prosecutors are acting, in my mind, a fair judge should throw this case in the garbage, where it belongs. First of all, to be going after a president with such egregious BS espionage charges for simply holding in possession his own documents. I don't think that's a legal precedent that any judge wants to be cementing into American history. And secondly, the prosecutorial misconduct is clear. It's evident. The misconduct in general and the double standard of the DOJ when it comes to their legal pursuit of anything Trump, as opposed to the actual felony crimes of the Biden regime, the Clintons, you name it. Any fair judge should toss this thing out immediately. And thankfully enough, or hopefully, it seems like Trump's in a good spot to win here big. Trump gets good news about Florida venue for classified documents trial. Former President Donald Trump handily won the state of Florida in 2020. Now that could work to his advantage when it comes to his federal trial for allegedly mishandling classified documents. A new report details how the jury pool would come primarily from counties that Trump handily won in 2016 and 2020, which could work to his advantage when the trial begins next month. Additionally, the federal judge hearing the case is Eileen Cannon, whom Trump appointed. The judge has signaled that the trial would take place in Fort Pierce, the federal courthouse where she usually sits at the northern end of the Southern District, Florida. And so Trump's gonna get a fair trial, not like the legal hack job that we're seeing in Manhattan over the supposed federal election crimes that he's being indicted on. And so I think we're likely to repeat history, the same thing over and over again. We definitely got him this time. Oh, Trump's definitely going to prison for life this time. We're gonna take down this criminal this time. You know, the same copium talking point that the leftoids keep expressing. Well, it's probably going to be the same old, crash and burn. You poor leftoids, you almost had him this time, huh? Better luck next time, better luck in Georgia. Or I guess back to the Manhattan case that at this point, nobody takes seriously. Nobody with 2 working brain cells, that is. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. You know that we'd love to have you here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.